Hello all and welcome back. I hope you're doing really well. Thank you for the attention on yesterday's video. It was quite an interesting one, looking at some other cryptocurrencies like XLM and XRP. Very bullish on a lot of those sort of remittance systems over in the crypto space. Today's video, I'm going to be looking at the Hedera ecosystem again in a little bit more detail, and also talking about what I believe is probably the next 100x, if not higher, gem in the crypto space, particularly within the Hedera ecosystem. For those of you that have been following the channel and watching the videos for a long time will know of this project anyway, because I've mentioned them several times, and that is of course 𝗏𝗏. Now, if we actually look at 𝗏𝗏, I'm using CoinGecko here instead of CoinMarketCap. 𝗟𝗜𝗏𝗡𝗏, who's one of the sort of tech leads for 𝗏𝗏, has said before that the ranking for the market cap over on CoinMarketCap is actually incorrect because they are using some sort of a self-verified supply. CoinGecko is actually the correct one. So as we can see at the moment, that 𝗏𝗏's coin market, or the crypto cap market cap ranking, is actually 1,119. So it is a very, very small project at the moment, with the market cap just over 9 million, or under $9.5 million, which is a very, very small market cap for a cryptocurrency. Yet for a project of this scale and this magnitude, with the potential for them to impact so many different businesses and sort of ecosystems, not only in the cryptocurrency space, but in enterprise spaces as well, this is a massive, massive opportunity for those of you who have not seen this before and have not sort of invested. The price appreciation over the last sort of 14 to 30 days has been very, very strong, off the back of some of the announcements they've had recently. Again, check out my previous videos, I've covered loads of them, but there's been some very bullish news recently with 𝗏𝗏 and its continued developments. Obviously they've released their phase 1 staking, and I think we're about 4 weeks or so away from major staking across the board. So it's looking very, very good for those of you who hold a lot of 𝗏𝗏 tokens, for you to be able to lock those up for some additional rewards. I talk about this in tandem a lot with the Hedera ecosystem, and they follow a very similar timeline. So we are looking for big DeFi and DEX moves in the next sort of 4 to 6 weeks, I reckon. Talking about 𝗏𝗏 as well, if we look at the coin's market cap in perspective, using the coin perspective, if I take 𝗟𝗘𝗙𝗘𝗥 token, which is roughly rank 100, so if 𝗏𝗏 enters the top 100 cryptocurrency projects, it would have a market cap of 780 million, which is absolutely massive. And then one 𝗏𝗏 itself would be worth $2.52, with an upside of 82x. So there is an awful lot of potential here for the project anyway, in terms of market cap growth. It is a severely undervalued cryptocurrency project, in my opinion. Also flicking over, we can see here a tweet from Parabolic HBAR. So Microsoft thinks verified carbon like 𝗏𝗏 will be in demand, and in Project Guardian with Hedera, probably nothing. So we can see here a image from Microsoft talking about there are not enough verified is the key word, carbon offset credits in the world today just to satisfy Microsoft's needs for this year. That was an eye-opener. Every major corporate is coming out with these big sustainability goals, so we have to do something dramatic to improve the supply of verified offsets. 𝗏𝗏 is a verified being the key word, carbon offset platform and cryptocurrency solution. It is the key effectively for a lot of these big industries, and not only industries but governments. In previous videos I've looked at how the US government, in that recent sort of white paper they released from the White House, talked about carbon offsets and it becoming a big focus for the US government. Really important stuff to sort of piece together the dots here. Like I said before, none of this is obviously financial advice, and there's obviously massive risks with these very tiny projects. There's massive risks in the cryptocurrency space in general. But this is a project that I'm incredibly bullish on, particularly as well because it's within the Hedera ecosystem, which has also got a lot of appreciation to come. If I flick over and we actually look at this Hedera improvement proposal for Project Guardian, so Guardian type solution, we can see 𝗟𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 is here, who's one of the key devs over at 𝗏𝗏 anyway. Type being standard tracks, so the abstract being the Guardian is a modular open source solution that includes best-in-class identity management, decentralized ledger technology, libraries. At the heart of Guardian solution is a sophisticated policy workflow engine that enables the ability for applications to offer a requirement-based token implementation. This document formally specifies the Guardian with a specification on the policy workflow engine. So this talks about the policy workflow engine, and the rationale being regarding to ecological markets, business leaders will find themselves in these 4 phases: creating verified supply, establishing demand, buying and selling, and offsetting carbon credits. There are many rationales that can be applied here, such as greenhouse gas emission profiles and renewable energy credits. For purposes of this rationale, we will focus on 2 types of carbon credits: emission allowances and carbon offsets. So this is obviously what Dover is all about anyway, and then with this Project Guardian they go into further this. This is a very technical article and it goes into a lot more depth, so I will link this in the description for you guys to view at your own leisure. But just know that they are very, very serious, and there's some big enterprise eyes on Dover as a project anyway, because of how unique and powerful the technology is for moving forward towards green and sustainable futures. Really, really important stuff. If I flick over as well and we talk about the general cryptocurrency market space, another tweet from Blockworks here, and this was Visa back in August of 2021. We envision a future in which your crypto address becomes as important as your post address or your mailing address. So they're basically turning around and saying that, we see a future in which everyone on the planet has a cryptocurrency address that identifies them, and that is used for all their transactions, and it becomes just as important as your home postcode. Just goes to show that these companies are really taking this seriously, and us that are at the beginning of this, how early we are, will probably benefit massively as soon as mass adoption comes. That's what this is all about. We are in the wild, wild west of a sort of financial and technological revolution when it comes to how money is transferred, dealt, interactions between enterprises and consumers. We are at the beginning of something that's going to revolutionize the next sort of 50 years, I think, of technology. Talking about this as well, in my previous videos, I've talked about how MasterCard as well have been trying to reach out to Hedera. So it's not only Visa that are looking towards cryptocurrency, the other big payment facilitator in the space, MasterCard, will not be one to miss out on this opportunity. You've got to think, guys, these big businesses have a lot of institutional and investor backing. They have to please their investors, and by doing that, they have to stay at the forefront to continually generate returns and revenue. If they stop generating returns and revenue, they fade out into non-existence as the capital gets pulled away from their shares effectively. So it's really important for these big businesses to stay in touch with what's happening and what's developing. Really important to be aware of. The other big breaking news as well, which came out yesterday evening, is that Instagram wants to integrate NFTs soon, according to Mark Zuckerberg, and that's come from the Financial Times. Again, this is absolutely massive. Instagram obviously being owned by the Facebook or Meta group. We've seen that Facebook, obviously with its recent name change, Meta, they're moving their products towards the metaverse, and NFTs will play a crucial role of that. If you think of Instagram as a platform anyway, it is predominantly image-based, so most of those can be tokenized. So we may be moving towards a platform in which you guys upload content and that becomes a tokenized asset on a blockchain. That would be a massive transition towards integrating NFTs into mainstream media. Instagram has millions and millions of users, and it's one of the biggest social media platforms with hundreds of millions of dollars of revenue flowing through the platform through different types of sponsorships, integrated e-commerce. You've got big businesses pushing out paid promotions through Instagram. This would be a absolutely phenomenal adoption of NFTs and Web 3.0 in the enterprise world. We are on the cusp of big change coming, whether it be in 2022 or in the next couple of years, up to 2025, there will be a massive shift towards Web 3.0, the metaverse, play to earn, taking control back of your data, and this sort of tokenized asset world. It's really important to understand that we're at the beginning of something very, very major, and it's very, very exciting. Flicking over as well, in one of my previous videos, or in several of my previous videos now, I have mentioned STADER Hedera, and obviously this is going to be the new staking platform for HBAR as soon as it's available. We can see here 𝗟𝗚𝗡𝗦, the 𝗟𝗚𝗡𝗙𝗏𝗏𝗏, very, very active in the Hedera community. Check him out if you haven't already. But there is actually an early sign up which gives people access to the alpha community with exclusive launch prizes and other surprises in store. So if you head over to the Twitter, you can actually find this link. It's down here, so forms.stader labs. I will link this in the description for you guys to sign up. I implore you to sign up because you may get access to some additional early sort of access to the platforms and other really great stuff. So all that's required is your name and an email address. I'll link that down in the description for you guys to check out anyway. The last thing I want to touch on again is Google. Obviously, I have a couple of big videos talking about why I believe that the Fortune 10 partner, the hidden Fortune 10 partner with Hedera, is Google. Here is some more credence to that and some additional breadcrumbs talking about YouTube. So I've put a lot of focus previously on their BigQuery side and their sort of database driven aspects. But there is a nice set of breadcrumbs here talking about YouTube. So Neil Mohan, the Chief Product Officer for YouTube, said this on February the 10th of 2022. Web3 opens up new opportunities for creators. We believe new technologies like blockchain and NFTs can allow creators to build deeper relationships with their fans. Together, they'll be able to collaborate on new projects and make money in ways not previously possible. For example, giving a verifiable way for fans to own unique videos, photos, art, and even experiences from their favorite creators could be a compelling prospect for creators and their audiences. There's a lot to consider in making sure we approach these new technologies responsibly, but we think there's incredible potential as well. A couple of videos here. Again, I'll link this sort of Reddit thread in the description. We've also got more information from 𝗟𝗜𝗏𝗦𝗏, who tweeted in response to Neil's post, covered him several times as he's the head of the digital asset team. Very exciting to hear all about the ways that YouTube is exploring new opportunities for creators to build in Web3. What will they launch first? And then we talk about this week. YouTube published a job listing on LinkedIn looking for a Web3 director with a bachelor's degree in computer science or related technology field. The job's title is called Director, Product Management, YouTube Web3. It requires 15 years of product experience in terms of minimum qualifications. As far as YouTube preferences are concerned, it hopes the candidate has utilized blockchain technologies. Preference includes understanding of cryptocurrencies, blockchain, consensus mechanisms, NFTs, and other Web 3.0 technologies, experience buying, owning, and trading cryptocurrencies, NFTs, and tokens. In terms of responsibilities, the candidate must represent YouTube Web3 at executive level discussions, external organizations and industry events, and in executive level conversations with industry partners and exclusive teams. So, okay, enough of the breadcrumbs. Will Google utilize Hedera and when Moon? So Google is part owner and governing council member of Hedera LLC. Google's recently appointed Web3 digital asset strategy guy has been at nearly all of Hedera's council meetings. Hedera is mentioned in name in their Web3 strategy blog post. Not only that, it seems that Google is most worried about regulatory compliance when it comes to integrating DLTs in crypto. Like all enterprises, they are very careful and slow to adopt. Regulatory compliance is 𝗟𝗜𝗏𝗦𝗏's bread and butter, and it's no coincidence they chose him, of all people, to not only delegate Hedera and appear on the regulatory council, but spearhead Google's Web 3.0 strategy. They put a compliance lawyer in charge of their crypto department. This is a huge signal of Google's priorities and mindset in this space. So aside from the obvious links to Hedera, Rich knows that Hedera is a network that is most focused on regulation because he advises it himself. He obviously finished off the post saying no one has a crystal ball, but it looks to me with pretty competitive advantage. And I completely agree. We said it before, Hedera does not shy away from regulatory bodies. It is working with majority of the regulatory bodies in the companies that it operates within, and it has so far complied with all regulation that is required, and that is massive for big business. Anyway guys, I hope you sort of enjoyed this video. Lots of different breadcrumbs coming together. It looks like, again, Google is still the number one for me in terms of it being the Fortune 10 company, and Dovu, I believe, is incredibly undervalued. Again, there's another great tweet here from 𝗟𝗜𝗏𝗦𝗏 when people say Hedera is centralized. We have no idea. They have no idea that a small group of developers are making all the decisions on Bitcoin and Ethereum's future code updates, and 3 major mining pools compromise more than 50% of the total network's mining power for both. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please subscribe. We're very quickly approaching the 1,000 subscriber mark, which would be a big milestone. I am putting together a Discord server for you guys, which I will drop at the 1,000 subscriber mark, and I hope to see you all there. Anyway, please leave a like, drop a comment, engage with this video, engage with me over on Twitter as well. There are more infographics in the works that I'm building, and they will be released soon. Take it easy all. Cheers.